What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is here. The time is 9. The tourney is here, and it starts shortly. We're going to have Babano joining us in 43 minutes to start breaking down the early games on the card. We have a packed NHL card, 12 games. We have 6 NBA games, and then the tourney is here. It's going to be wild, crazy, action-packed couple days for us right now. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Paulo Marquez, Walla Dose, Dan Kelly saying no Frank Howard for Syracuse. Night caught getting high. He just jumped on Baylor. Money line plus 110. Greatest ever in the house. Vegas Gun ready to rock. Dave L.A. swept the Japan series. Shout out to Dave L.A. getting baseball rolling. Our resident MLB expert, Dave L.A. You got Moss. Fin 201. Bada boom in the house. Matt Randall. Going to be another great day. The taint, with luck, the taint play today did hit again yesterday for Matt Randall. And Mr. Gokster seeing Northern Dancer on the the pitcher to start off the show. Yes, Northern Dancer. No other horse that I know of had sex as much as Northern Dancer. He's a grandfather of every single horse that's ever come out of Canada. Jeff Joseph in the house says, let the madness begin. We got Base Kniff. You got Moss. We got Vishnu Ace, JF, Gate Pass, Key, King Rail, ready to rock. What a great group. What a great group. Okay, Maxwell Smart says, hookers will get rich tonight. We got Super Alpha Fitness, Daryl Lyles, Dab Fenn, Joe Rich Ramirez, Tomarino, Tomor, who's on Maryland and Louisville early. I'm very close to jumping on Louisville, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. And Joe Rich Ramirez liking Wiz Nuggets over 230. That's a good look. That is a good look. Okay, let's get to work. I'm coming off back-to-back shit days. Back-to-back bad days. Very, very disappointing, but the tourney is here and I can change things very quickly, and I hope to very quickly. And 2 of the last 3 Thursdays, I've gone 6-0 in NHL. And, I don't believe in the bullshit that's jinxing me or anything like that. I don't believe in that shit. But 2 of the last 3 Thursdays, I've gone 6-0. I'm handling the bigger cards better than I'm handling the smaller cards. And I was up very, very early, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Ben Sports 24/7 says Sixers with big last-minute shot for the win. It was quite a game last night. All right, let's get to work. We have a ton of work now. There was a problem with the tweet. It never came out for the show, and here it is right now. It is ready to go live now. So I'm going to tweet. Oh, no, that is not. Okay, sorry. Let's just get this one out. Here we go. And there. Okay, so that's tweeted out and ready to go. All right, let's get to work. We have a ton of stuff to get through. First off, let's go through this NHL card. Shout out to Felipe Fernandez saying hello from Portugal. Everybody's feeling tourney fever, and I am too. I did go with Maxwell Smart's call. I did take Virginia to win the national championship, and I also took them to win the region at plus 115. If I can get them to win the region, then I'm free rolling through the rest of the tourney, through the Final Four and championship games. And speaking of Final Four championship games, you can win. You can get an all-expenses-paid trip. You can get flown with a friend to Minnesota. 4 nights hotel room, tickets to the games, food, money. If you win our poker tournament coming on Monday, March 25th with Bovada, we will be giving out all that information on the codes and everything to sign up for the poker tournament shortly. But that's Monday, March 25th. Whale Capper will be in. Maxwell Smart will be in. I will be in. Let's get to work. Okay, Young Bond liking Louisville, Kansas, Wofford, Marquette. Jim Rummy says, not early enough, Jimmy. All the good plays disappeared yesterday at noon. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. It's just very overwhelming. But God, the NIT got me right in the old drink hole. Okay, let's get to work. Red Girl says, morning again. Max, LSU under. What do you think? We're going to talk about all that stuff, but we're going to focus on NHL right now. We got a ton of games to go through. First off, shout out to Jim Foray in the house. TM ready to rock. Red Girl here. Stelly ready to roll. Daryl Lyles. Okay. And I'm still trying to get over this pneumonia, which is just sticking around. Todd Petkov says, morning, guys. How bad was the third in Vancouver? My God. What an ugly, ugly hockey. At least the Canucks won, but 1-0 after the first. I think the under 6 is in business. Fucking 7-4. Okay, let's focus. You got Moss says New Mexico State plus 5.5. Max play. And Matt Randall loving my low bag hat. Shout out to Matt Randall in the house. Okay, I'm copying, pasting. You got Moss, Max play. And let's get through this NHL card. But we don't need to force it, but I will keep a very brisk pace. I know basketball's on the tip of everybody's tongue right now, so let's keep moving along. I've already made a bet on the Coyotes Panthers over 5.5. That's the only bet I made this morning. And I just feel like it's going to be 6s on the board at some point. And let's see if there are 6s on the board now. No, there's a 6 at Heritage, but still 5.5s. You can still get the minus 120 at Pinnacle and at 5 Dimes and at Bet Online. Bookmaker and Bovada have gone to minus 125. I just think there's going to be goals here. The Panthers' offense is rolling. Huberdeau is playing spectacularly well. Barkov's playing unbelievably well. You know, if they're playing that well, why aren't they in the playoffs? That's a good question. And I blame Ekblad. I just thought Ekblad was going to be a Hedman-esque defenseman, and he's never turned into that. Samuel Montembeault will be in goal. I think he's susceptible. He's looked fine, 4-2-1, 2.58 goals against average, 903 save percentage. But I think he's susceptible. I think he can allow a couple goals, and I think the Panthers are going to score a couple goals. All that said, I like the over 5.5. Panthers 9th in goals per game at 3.19, and 2nd in power play at 26.9. Now, I know that the Coyotes kind of balance that off with their second-ranked penalty killing, but Panthers have bad penalty killing. The Coyotes' power play is improving. Cal Cheniuk now is a third-line left winger, but he's the first-line centerman on the power play. Coyotes have been off since losing 4-1 at Tampa on Monday night. Since February 9th, Coyotes 13-5-1. They have a slight edge over the Wild and the Avalanche for the 8th final playoff berth. Hockey Reference gives the Coyotes 46.8% chance to make playoffs. Derek Stepan is very, very close, as Rick Tocchet. So he's going to be back soon. He could be back this weekend because they play New Jersey on Saturday and the Islanders on Sunday. He hasn't played since February 28th. Panthers coming off 4-2 loss to Dallas on Tuesday night to finish off a 2-2-0 road trip. Panthers have essentially been a 500 team at home this season, which is why they're not in the playoffs, 18-12-6. Panthers have a 0.9% chance to make the playoffs. They're missing depth forwards, Derek Malkin and Dennis Malgin. And I have some more up-to-date information on this tourney right now. Let me get to it. Let me get to this here right now. We got some up-to-date information here. And let me tell you guys a little bit more about this spot. So, the users need to download software to be able to access the tournament. They have to look for SBR Madness. It's a private tournament, and the password is SBR 2019. That is the password, and we can go ahead and give that info out. So, SBR Madness private tournament, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, December 25th, 2019, and registration is open. It is open. Open yesterday. So you can sign up anytime you want. SBR Madness, private tournament, to win tickets to Minnesota to watch the Final Four in the championship game. So I'll keep going over that. We have Matt Randall's team play of the day. Ooh, he's taking ODU. Old Dominion, plus 12.5. I'm going to copy and paste that. All right. Okay, got there. Okay, we're in business. So that's my first spot. I got the 5.5. Let's keep rolling, and let's keep a brisk pace because we got to get through 18 games before we get to Babano to break down the college basketball with Maxwell Smart in the chat. Okay. And Todd Petkoff says Luongo in net, so it looks good. God, he's had his worst season since his rookie year. I was wondering if they were going to give Reimer or Luongo a shot. They're not going to play Montembeault every single game moving forward. And this is a tough game for the Panthers coming off a road trip, coming back home. Thank you for letting me know, Todd Petkoff. I agree. I think the over is in play. And Stelly says December 25th. No, March 25th. Did I say December 25th? If I did, I apologize. Okay, let's keep rolling along. And you got Moss says huge game for Arizona. I still don't trust him. Okay, let's keep working. And Unbelievable says, I like that taint today. Okay, Bruins at Devils. Now, the Devils are just decimated with injuries, playing out this string of hockey games. The Boston Bruins are coming into their own right now. They've looked awesome the last 2 games. Their defense looks spectacular. Is it worth taking a road team at minus 1.5? At minus 110? That's the question. The Bruins are playing so good that they're probably... Oh, we have the big dick energy play of the day. Marquette, minus 3.5. And you got Moss taking Arizona. Sorry, I got to copy and paste that. Bruins puck line, parlay with the Bolts puck line, says Kate Paskey. I am going against the Bolts today. I'm taking the Hurricanes at even money. I just feel like there has to be some letdown spots on the calendar. And I know that you've been against any fading of Tampa Bay, Kate Paskey, but I have to do it here. I agree. I say we take the Bruins at minus 1.5. This team is rolling. Coming off 5-0 win at Islanders on Tuesday night. They limited the Islanders to 13 shots. Unbelievable. Ties for the fewest shots made by an NHL team in a game this season. Boston allowed 15 goals in 3 losses, and then they've come back with a vengeance. 1 goal allowed, 38 shots only allowed in the last 2 games. They have no Marcus Johansson. They're still missing 3 of their top 6. Defensemen Krug, Miller, and Grzelcyk. But Devils coming off 4-1 home loss to Capitals on Tuesday night. They're doing nothing. They traded 4 veterans. They have only 4 players at the deadline. They have only 4 players on their team older than 30 on their current roster. No Hall, Zacha, Hischier, Wood, Bratt, Bastian, Gabriel. Those are just the forwards. They're still missing Sami Vatanen and Mirko Mueller. They're in a bad spot. And I know some people might be sitting there going, is there value on a -1.5 of Boston at that? You know what? I was on the Flames -1.5 and -105 when they beat the Rangers 5-1 at home. I'm not going to be on the Flames today against the Senators just because of the Monahan issues and the fact that Jackets did hit 4 posts in the first 2 periods of that 4-2 win. But I'm going to do it here, and that's a -140 or something on the Flames. I'm going to do it here, though. I'm going to take Boston -1.5. I'm getting -108 at Pinnacle, and I am grabbing it. So that's Bruins -1.5, -108 at Pinnacle. Shout out to Ill Wise in the house. Alex Hills, ready to roll with some underdog first half plays in NCAA. I can't wait to read them. Christopher Comentini also on the Bruins puck line. And Gabe Pasky says, that's why I'm parlaying the Bolts. I expect them to win every game, but this could be a spot they let up. Therefore, quarter unit parlay. Okay, I feel that. I hear that. Okay, Jim Rummy said yesterday some soft bookies offering Devils 6.5. That line crashed right away. Wow. Jim Rummy has such a good eye on the market. Okay. You got Moss that says if Tampa is ever to have a letdown, now would be the time. Hurricanes with a surprising 5-2 win. Christopher Comentini saying Pasternak back for Boston. And Jim Rummy said I wouldn't be too excited on that over in the Devils game. Yeah, I'm comfortable with this spot. Let's keep rolling along. Lightning Hurricanes. I am going to take the Hurricanes on the money line here. I just, there's no doubt Lightning are the best team in the NHL. Well, the Knights they're playing very good hockey right now. But I'll just leave it at that. And but I'm going to take a shot against them with a very, very talented Carolina Hurricanes team at home, rested against the Lightning team that won a spectacular game last night, 5-4 in overtime. But wow, you got to get on this fast. This was -105 in the morning. Jeez. -128 now at Bet Online. But there's still some nice lines. There's a -110 at 5 dimes, -115 at Heritage. Get on this now. Money coming in on the Hurricanes. I'm going to take it right now. -110. That's available at 5 dimes on the Hurricanes. So we're going to have Louis Domingue in goal for the Lightning. Part of the reason why we're fading him here. Mrazek's playing spectacularly well right now. Lightning are on the second half of the road back-to-back. We talked about that. Vasilevsky made 54 saves. It wasn't an easy win by any stretch of the imagination. They've now won 6 straight. They've clinched the President's Trophy for best regular season record with more than 2 weeks to play. Tom Marino says Tampa Bay knows they could see Carolina in the playoffs. I don't see a letdown. I need a plus price to back Carolina. I don't need a plus price. -110 or -115 is fine for me. And this is what Cooper is saying. Cooper says, what you do in the Lightning coach, Cooper, what you do in the regular season doesn't predict future success. We've given ourselves every advantage to get to our ultimate goal. We can't take our foot off the gas. We can't exhale and not play the game the right way. Right now, we're still full steam ahead. They're still missing Strawman and Girardi, 2 bottom pair defensemen. Hurricanes have reached the 2020 mark. 20 wins on the road, 20 wins at home. Last time they did that, they won the Stanley Cup. This is a team that probably nobody wants to face in the playoffs. Jim Rummy says, Pinnacle open Bolts +119. Careful with the Canes. Yeah, I heard that. It was +119, -130, I believe. Hurricanes open a 5-game homestand. Consecutive victories. Buffalo 4-2, Pittsburgh 3-2 in a shutout. I love the 4th game of 5-game homestand, but 3rd is fine too. They've won 4-5, 9-12. Calvin DeHaan has the eye issue. He got Alex Kerfoot's stick up under his visor. It's very scary, but he's going to be okay. Couldn't see out of one eye for almost 48 hours. He's going to be fine. He's the only Cane on the injury report. Okay, so that's what's up. I'm on the Hurricanes. Let's keep rolling. Keeping a nice, brisk pace. Richie Rich says Tampa Bay off huge win. I fade that, and I will too, Richie Rich, my God. Okay, I'm going to take the Habs here on the puck line. This Islanders team is playing poorly. I know Grice is going to come in and play great. Don't get me wrong. He's playing very well. But the Islanders are not playing well. And not only that, the Islanders are dealing with a ton of injuries. All of a sudden, bad time to have them. Valtteri Filppula, a very, very accountable defensive centerman, is now going to be out 4 weeks with upper body injury. Cal Clutterbuck, a tough, rugged forechecker, forced out of Tuesday's game with an upper body injury. He's questionable for Thursday. Jordan Eberle, upper body injury. He missed practice on Wednesday, and he did travel with the Islanders to Montreal, but he's questionable. Johnny Boychuk, he keeps taking part in the Islanders' pregame warmups. This is their number 1 defenseman, but he hasn't been playing. He's not taking part in line rushes. It looks like he won't make his return till Sunday evening. So I'm going to fade this team. They're not playing well. They barely did anything in that 5-0 loss at home to the Bruins. And the only thing good about them is they got Greiss rolling. They're 91 points, 3 points behind the Capitals. Also, they are 2 points up on the Pens, and I don't want anything to do with them. I'm fading them. Canadians coming off a big 3-1 win at Philadelphia on Tuesday night. Now, they're not scoring, so that's why this total's at 5. I don't want to mess with a 5. You know, we learned from that Dallas 5 that landed right on 5. It's just I don't know if there's value trying to beat it. Carey Price made his 6th consecutive start. He's playing very, very well. 948 save percentage, 1.52 goals against average over his last 4 games, but just 2-2 because they're not scoring. All that said and done, I'm on the Habs -1.5. I've rarely taken them in any situations this year, but I'm taking them here, and I think the Islanders are falling apart, and a bad time for them to do that. And I'm getting a big score here, plus 190 at 5 dimes, but you're going to get plus 185 or higher everywhere else. Plus 190 at 5 dimes. Book it, bank it, got it. Let's keep rolling. Red Wings at Blues. This Blues team is back together. Perron is healthy. Tarasenko is healthy. And Jaden Schwartz, I called him out last game, and he gets a hat trick. Man has 7 goals in 59 games, and he got a hat trick last night. I've always been a very, very big Schwartz fan of his character. His sister was a star hockey player, a spectacular hockey player, one of the best female hockey players in the world, and she died of cancer, and it's about 4 years ago. It was his, I believe it was his older sister. I can't remember. I believe it was his older sister. Pretty sure it was. But Schwartz handled that very difficult situation with such class and dignity, and I love him. I love him, but 7 goals in 59 games is just confusing to me because he's got soft hands, power play specialist, very, very special hockey player. And him getting a hat trick and rolling with David Perron right now. Perron got 2 goals, set up another. Perron has his personal point streak, 16 games, 9 goals, 12 assists. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 3 games after 2 months out with a concussion. This team is rolling, and this Red Wings team falling apart. So also just a couple more things about the Blues. Binnington, 14-3-0 in the last 17 starts. They're missing bottom pair defensemen Edmondson and Carl Gunnarsson, but they've been out for a long time. They're comfortable with that. Detroit's won back-to-back games after a 1-9-3 stretch. And Andreas Athanasiou, I talk about him nonstop. Very, very, very special, big, young forward. Scored twice, and he now has the team lead 28 goals. But Howard signed the extension. That's all great. Wings are missing 3 of their top 6 defensemen. Mike Green, Trevor Daley, Jonathan Erickson. Now they have Jacob De La Rose and Justin Advocator out. Listen, St. Louis puck line is in play. Richie Rich on it. Gate pass Key on it. Shout out to Dom the Don. Shout out to Adam Lastman. Adam Lastman's very, very hot right now. Vaughn Burgess. What a great group. And Christopher Comtine says, damn, plus 190. You're right. That might be the spot on the board that has the most value. But let's see what we're getting here on the Blues -1.5, because that might be the easiest spot on the board. St. Louis -1. Oh, damn. -120. Well, for some reason, I thought I could at least get closer to even money, but that was stupid. This is a gimme. I'll take it. I'll take Bruins at this spot. I'm going to take the Blues here. -1.5 at -120. That's pretty much a market. -1.5 at -120. Book it. Let's keep rolling along. Okay. Young Vaughn saying, I'm starting to love Wofford. Wofford, man, 7th seed could be a dangerous team in this tourney. Let's keep rolling. Penguins at Predators. This, to me, is a stay-off game. It also, to me, feels like a game that could be a low-scoring affair. Let's see what we get with Penguins Predators. We're getting a 6. Oh, I'm going to take under here. Predators are playing very good hockey. And my man Anna Merrick says, no MMA show this week due to the madness, but I still got picks. I know you do, Anna Merrick. What a huge asset you are to our family here. Penguins, Predators. I think the under is a play here. Matt Murray, Pecorine, both playing very, very good. The Predators coming off that impressive 3-0 win at home on Tuesday night. They now have won 3 straight, outscored their opponents 10-3. Nashville has depth forwards Zach Rinaldo and Salamaki out, and Dan Hamhuis, the bottom pair defenseman, out, but they've been out for a while. Base Kniff says under is the move. I agree, and I didn't have it as a set play before I got here, but it's got to jump. I've got to jump on it. Penguins allowed a tying goal, 156 left in that 3-2 shootout loss in Carolina. They've been allowing late goals, but I was on the under there. I've been hammering. Shout out to Elliot V in the house. I've been hammering these unders. Gabe Pasky says stay clear of the Pens game. They could win by 3 or lose by 3. Nowhere near this game anyway at all. I keep cashing unders since Malkin got out with the Penguins. And the market's just slow on understanding that with Malkin out, their power play just stops producing at the rate that it's used to. Penguins power play 5th in the league at 25.1%. I'd love to see their numbers when Malkin's out, because I bet you they're in the bottom 10 in the league. Predators have a strong strong penalty killing at 11th in the league, and no power play whatsoever. This to me is a comfortable, wow, look at Gin Rummy. My God, just ahead of the game here. Took under 6.5 Preds yesterday at noon at -110. God damn, Gin Rummy, you are sharp, man. What a spectacular move that is. Respect. Wow. God. Okay, so I'm not going to let Gin Rummy's sharpness upset me. I just respect it very, very much. I'm getting under 6 at +107 here at Bet Online. There can't be a 6.5 on the board anywhere, can there? Let's quickly check. No. Well, at a book we can't use. And it's under 6.25. Okay, so under 6 at +107 from Bet Online. I'm on it. Oh, Ilwai says, Jimmy, I can't hear you. Is my sound all good? My sound all good? Okay. All right. Okay, under 6.5. Excuse me. Sorry. Again, thinking about Gin Rummy beating the market so bad. Okay, under 6 at +107. Okay. Let's keep rolling along. Michael Welsh's NCAA starts in an hour. Yes, Babano, Ian Cameron will be joining us in 22 minutes. We'll be breaking all that down. So, Michael Welsh, you're in good hands. And we have Maxwell Smart and everybody breaking down on the chat right now. And Michael Welsh says, yeah, volume sucks. Okay, okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for letting us know that. Okay, let's keep rolling. And you got Moss says it sounds like. Okay, Flyers, Blackhawks. I know a ton of people are on the over. It's a 7. And I'm not going to take the over, but the under is a little too juiced. And I just want to stay off it. But Corey Hart and Corey Crawford are both playing very, very well. I expect Corey Hart to be in. But, Dan Kelly says, I could hear you. How about a little Danny boy? You know, my partner was the incredibly special singer. And I'm no good. I can sing like Kate Bush. I can hit that high note, but that's about all I can do. Okay, Blackhawks had their 5-game winning streak snapped in a 3-2 overtime loss at home to the Canucks on Monday night. Taves scored his 31st goal, and I didn't realize he scored that many goals, so Taves is playing better than I expected. You'd have to think. Excuse me. Okay, sorry. Taves, you'd have to think if Taves gets 31 goals, Kane has 101 points, you'd have to be like, wow, this Blackhawks team must be winning the Central. And in fact, they are probably not going to make the playoffs. But if they want to, they have to start rolling right now. And Kane is rolling. Kane has 29 points last 15 home games. Taves is rolling. They got DeBrincat. They got Perlini rolling. They're starting to get offense from guys not named Kane and Taves. Their defense is playing very good. And Corey Crawford's playing spectacularly well. 1.74 goals against average during a 5-0-1 stretch. Cagula is the only Blackhawk on the injury report with a concussion. Philadelphia's dropped 3 of 4. Now 6 points out of the wild card position. And it looks like Tom Marino will be getting $100 from me. $100 American dollars as well, Tom Marino. Not going to cheat you out on a little bit of Canadian cash. Hard to stop 74-77 shots he's faced while Philadelphia split his last 2 games. And even with the losing 3 of 4, they're still playing very good on the road. 9-2-1 on their last 12 games on the road. Couturier has at least a point in 5 consecutive road contests, 6 goals, 12 assists last 14 games away from home. They're a healthy group. Bet Sports 24/7's on the Flyers Hawks first period over. That continues to succeed. That continues to pay dividends. I wonder, what's the juice on that, Ben? You let me know what the juice on that. Gabe Paskey says Hawks puck line. This is a game I just want to stay off of. Dafen says, got to move on to NCAA. If the Coyotes is your only play, let's go to Tourney Talk. Dafen, I hear you. But we're going to go to Tourney Talk in 19 minutes, and I've already made 5 plays, but I understand, and I apologize. But we're not going to be talking about NHL at all for the rest of the day, and I got to get through this giant card. I've had 2 6-0 days on the 2 of the last 3 Thursdays, and I got to do it. And I apologize, Daven. Okay. All right. Avalanche at Stars. This is another spot where I may just stay off of Avalanche at Stars. Let's take a look. I do think the Stars are playing very good hockey, but at what point do they lose value? There is still minus 135 at 5 times. Colorado's actually playing good, and Ben Bishop now back. He did look fine in his game back. Avalanche played these Stars 3 weeks ago, and they got destroyed. They got destroyed. They lost 4-0. Now they're coming off 2 wins, 3-1 win at Minnesota, and they're coming close to that Western Conference wildcard spot. Drew Bauer, 22 saves in the shutout over New Jersey. That followed a 36-save performance against the Wild. They're playing good hockey. They're getting Tyson Barrie rolling. They're starting to get offense from guys not named McKinnon and Rantanen. Colorado 2 points behind Arizona for the wild card. They're playing without Captain Landeskog and their winger, top 6 forward at times, Matt Nieto. Dallas got Bishop back. They won 4-2 at home over the Panthers on Tuesday. And yes, Poppy Longwood, yes, the MLB will be in full swing starting next week. Absolutely. Richie Rich says Dallas huge line move, but I don't like them here. I'm not that comfortable here either. Dallas has gone 7-2-1 its last 10. They're without Zuccarello and Pitlick. Also, Taylor Fedun missed Tuesday's game. He had a death in the family, and so we're not entirely sure if he's going to be back. All that said and done, I'm not making a move at this point on the Avalanche at Stars game. Now, Senators at Flames. If you want the Flames -1.5, a Flames team that may not have their star center Monahan in the lineup, you're going to have to pay -150, and under no circumstances am I going to do that. Anderson versus Riddick. Senators second half road back-to-back. They lose 7-4 last night in Vancouver. Max Verano from Princeton University scored his first NHL goal. Senators are already without top defenseman Thomas Chabot, who may return Saturday against the Oilers. And then they lost Cody Ceci last game to an upper body injury. Calgary's won 4-5. They were fortunate to beat the Jackets. Oh, and wow, Gate Pass Key leading Avs. Leading Avs money line. Very, very interesting. Okay, Flames 3 points behind. 3 points ahead of San Jose for the top spot in the Western Conference. No Monahan with an illness. He could be back. Sam Bennett, upper body injury. He could be back. James Neal missed 16 games, upper body injury. He's not expected to suit up against Ottawa, but he's almost ready to be back at -150. Let's move on. Okay, here, I'm going to take the Jackets on the puck line. This is nice. They beat in Alberta. There's not a lot to do. They were unlucky against the Flames, and they need this win desperately. Oilers are coming back home after a disaster. Well, ended up as a disaster. It started out okay after a road trip. Koskinen looks awful. I wonder if they go with Stolarz here. I am backing. Oh, shout out to Jorge, my man Jorge in the house. Love it. Richard Lee saying Avs have played tonight. You know, it might be hearing you and Gate Pass keep talking about it, but I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it. I'm backing these Jackets at -1.5. As I said, hit the post 4 times in the first 2 periods of that game against Calgary. They hold a 1-point lead on Montreal in the Eastern Conference, second and final wildcard berth. They need it badly. Foligno is dealing with a personal matter, and for those of you who care about the Folignos, as I do, it supposedly has nothing to do with his 5-year-old daughter, Milana, who's had multiple heart surgeries. Supposedly what's going on now doesn't have to do with her. Maybe they're just saying that so we don't worry, but supposedly that doesn't have to do with her. Ryan Murray, their defenseman, is week to week right now. He last played on, I believe like in the end of February. He's been out for a while, and they need him back come playoff time. Oilers are opening up a 5-game homestand, not a spot where I want to back them. Maybe I back them later. Gabe Pesky says, I want to take the Jackets so badly, but wanting for the Oilers to be out mathematically before fading them. I understand that. Koskinen looks terrible right now. And the Oilers were just done. I mean, the Blues were up 24-6 in shots in that game where they destroyed them 7-2. This is, to me, a spot where I am going to back a team that needs this game desperately and is playing good enough hockey, but need to turn it on right now. And they will turn it on in the best ice in the NHL. -1.5 at +187 from our friends at Heritage. That's a nice, juicy puck line. Those remind me of the puck lines I was getting earlier in the year. Got a +190 with the Habs, a +187 with the Jackets. Richie Rich said, I like the Columbus over 6 here. Will be high scoring. Yeah, that's an interesting look. I don't know if the Oilers can get offense, but maybe the Jackets team total over would be a nice spot. Tormino says Columbus is playing well. They need to win to stay in the playoffs. And I am taking the Vegas Golden Knights at -1.5 here against this Jets team that's playing good hockey. They've won 4 straight. They have great record against the Pacific Division, but they played just last night in Anaheim. Now they come into Vegas, and the Knights have won 9 of 10. They just completed a back-to-back sweep of Edmonton and San Jose. I know Malcolm Subban is susceptible, but we've seen Subban step up when he knows he's going to play every second night, when he knows he's a starter. And right now, Marc-Andre Fleury dealing with a lower body injury, he knows he's a starter. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare is a forward for the Knights. He's listed as day-to-day. They haven't told us exactly why. Hellebuck, that was his first shutout of the year. Now Bressois is going to be back in net tonight. Bressois looked great all year, but I think this is a Jets team that's happy with this road trip and is going to be fine losing to this very tough Vegas squad. And Gabe Pasky said that could be the play, Richie. I'm keeping an eye. So maybe the over in Columbus and maybe the Avs. Joe Morrow came back for the Jets, their bottom pair defenseman, and they promptly lose Nathan Beaulieu immediately. So they still have 3 of the 6 defensemen out. And Beaulieu, I mean, sure, he's an important depth piece, but it's Bufflin and Morrissey that are hurting them not being in the lineup, even though they're playing great without them. Okay, Richie Rich says that Winnipeg, Vegas under 6.5. It looks high. It does. But, and Tom Marino says Vegas playing well, but the recent run has been against almost all non-playoff teams. Well, they just beat up on the team that's 3 points out of the number 1 spot in the Western Conference, San Jose Sharks. I'm taking the Golden Knights minus 1.5, and I'm booking it. Minus 1.5 at plus 160 at both Heritage and 5 Dimes. There's another juicy puck line. Now we're talking. Got to get these back in my arsenal. 160, book it. All right. And then Sharks at Kings. Here, I would love to jump on the Sharks. Absolutely love to jump on the Sharks, but I can't right now without Pavelski. They're not playing very well, so no Pavelski and no Carlson, and it just, I'm not entirely sure what to do. Oh, no, Teddy B. Ah, God. 1K on the Wizards, yeah. Damn. And I know Jay Money was on a big too. I mean, I lost $200 on it, but that's no 1K. Oh, God. Hate hearing that, Teddy B. But I know you, man. I know you'll get that cash right back. Damn. And we had a nice read on the association last night. I mean, I only ended up going 3-2, but I should have gone more. I should have been all over the Blazers, but whatever. Tom Marino says San Jose hasn't been playing well. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight. That was an ugly homestand. Panthers, Predators, Golden Knights, they outscored 15-7. So no Pavelski, no Carlson. That I see them winning a game 3-2 here tonight. I see a low-scoring game 3-2. Let's maybe take a look at what the total is. Maybe they should jump on it. Oh, my God, it's 6. I know LA's been trending to overs, but I don't see it here tonight. I'm going to jump on this under 6 here. I'm going to jump on this under 6. I'm getting minus 113 at Pinnacle. I'm going to take Sharks Kings under 6, minus 113. And that's my NHL card. That's my NHL card. I do like what Gabe Patsky and Richie Rich are talking about with the Columbus over and with the Avalanche. But that's my action here. Let's get through it. And we won't be talking about it much on the Late Show. I'm on the over 5.5 in Coyotes Panthers. I got that at minus 120. I'm on the Bruins minus 1.5 at minus 108. I'm on the Hurricanes money line at minus 110. I'm on the Canadiens puck line minus 1.5 at plus 190. I'm on the Blues minus 1.5 at minus 120. I'm on the Penguins Predators under 6 at plus 107. I'm off Flyers Blackhawks. I'm off Avs Stars, but maybe make a move on it later. I'm off Sens Flames. I'm on the Jackets minus 1.5 at plus 187. I'm on the Knights minus 1.5 at plus 160. I'm on the Kings under 6 at minus 113. And that's that. Okay, we're going to have Babano joining us in less than 10 minutes. Let's break down this NBA card right now. We're also going to have Ski Profit joining us. I'm sure Ski will be looking at this March Madness, but he focuses on NBA. So let's go at Sportsbook, SBRodds.com. And let's touch on, and Sebastian Arnold says, stay off the whiz, such trash, man, especially on the road. But I thought that was a spot for them, and I took it right in the old prison pocket with that. Okay. And Dom the Don says, how do you lose on the Bulls when you need to win? Okay. So let's get to work right now. Timberwolves at Hornets. Let's look at spreads and totals. Blazers didn't cover, Jimmy. Really? Did they not cover the 10? Oh my God, they didn't. Wow. Dallas outscored them 35-25. I must have passed out. Wow, Steve Priest. Wow. Thank you for letting me know that, Steve Priest. Wow. That does make me feel a little better. Okay, Teddy B says, let's get to this college basketball. We are. And Babano's joining us in 9 minutes, and we are. But we have to touch on this NBA card quickly. Let's go. Minnesota, Charlotte. Charlotte opening up at minus 3.5, now minus 5.5. The total's at 222.5. And in saying all that, shout out to Harold Griffin in the house. I'm not going to back the Hornets here, even though at 3.5 I might have. The Timberwolves are 9-28 on the road, and I still am afraid to go up against and hammer this Hornets squad. Timberwolves lost 4 straight, but they looked fine against the Warriors, losing 117-107. Karl Anthony Towns rolling. 30.9 points, 13.8 boards, 4.1 assists in February. And then March, 30.1, 12, and 3.6. The guy's rolling 26 points and 21 boards against the Warriors. 6-20-20 of the season. Now, how do you not fade these? How do you not fade these Timberwolves here? Let's just quickly talk about it. Should we jump on this spot here? Jeff Teague will not play on Thursday night. Could be shut down. Luol Deng Achilles will not play Thursday. Deng could be out for the season. Derrick Rose will not play Thursday because of an elbow injury. Covington probably going to get shut down with a knee injury. Taj Gibson questionable to play on Thursday with a calf injury. Charlotte's coming off a 118-114 home loss. They've lost 4 or 5. They're 4-11 over their past 15. Tomor says Town should have a huge game, but will that be enough, Tomor? Will that be enough? Zeller still having a knee soreness. He's not on the lineup. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist with a concussion. And no Tony Parker, who knows if he's even going to be here. You know, I think that the Timberwolves, I think the Hornets are probably the play. But all I can say is probably because I don't trust this team. And I like what Okoji's doing. I like what Tyus Jones is doing. So I'm not making a move on that spot at this point. Nuggets, Wizards. Adam Lastman says Hornets with the cover. You know what? Let's see what Ski has to say about that. Denver, Washington. Denver opening up at -4.5 at BetOnline, now -8.5. This total opens at 232. It's now down to 230. We've already had people talking about jumping on the over in this game. Denver looked great against Boston, rallied in the fourth quarter, but they haven't been playing high-scoring games. Bleds W liking Hornets money line. It's just too juiced to take a team that's so untrustworthy. Jokic, 21 points, 9-14. Will Barton looked great. This is a healthy team that's rolling. Toriel says, I don't bet Minnesota on the road without Teague, but I don't see Charlotte coming without Zeller. They have no interior defense. Maybe that's the best way to do it and just do nothing. Maybe that's the best way to do it, Tomor. Washington saw their slim playoff hopes fall apart last night. 126-120 loss in overtime. Heartbreaking loss for a lot of us. Raven in the desert like in the under. The Nuggets game seems to be coming through. Wizards lost for the third time in 4 games. They're now back 5.5 to the Heat. They're not catching the Heat. They lost to a team without Zach LaVine and Otto Porter, a Bulls team without those two guys. Come on. Jabari Parker, they got no offensive boards. They did nothing on the glass. Bradley Beal scored 27. He did his best. Ariza left with a strained groin in the first half, so Troy Brown was playing. Another spot, Nuggets -8, but do we take that on the road, Steve? I don't know. Don says, trash-ass whiz. We're going to have Babano joining us in 5 minutes. Jazz at Hawks. Jazz are destroying all these teams in the East, but they're destroying terrible, terrible teams. Terrible, terrible teams. And to the question that Maddie Drama is asking, I don't know what the situation is, but I love a man dearly, and so I'm not able to make those decisions. Yeah. So let's keep moving along here. Utah, Utah opening at -8, total at 225 or 225.5. Tomer saying Washington has no interior defense. Jokic and Millsap should have big games. Not a good spot off Denver after a huge win. I agree. I absolutely agree. Okay. Scott says Washington is good value when you pick your spots. Yeah, I hear that. And at home they may, but Adam Lastman says Nuggets with the points. Word says Hawks +8. Jazz, Hawks. Jazz have been holding teams for their last 6 teams to fewer than 100 points, but the Jazz are now on the second half of a back-to-back. They didn't expend a lot of energy beating the Knicks at MSG last night, 137-116. They've won 5 straight. Donovan Mitchell looked great, 30 points against the Knicks. Gobert, 25 points in his first meeting against the Hawks. They had no answer for him. Maybe Collins can maybe push him back a little bit this time. Atlanta's lost 3 straight, coming off 121-105 home loss to the Rockets, but they're second in the league in scoring since the break. I wonder if this is a game that flies over. But maybe I'm just saying that because of the game last night at MSG. So I'll hold off on that. Collins leads the team in scoring, 19.7 points per game and boards. He's had 20 points and 10 boards 18 times. First Hawks player to do that since Horford in 2012, 2013. Trae Young is playing very, very well since that All-Star break. On the season, 18.5 and 7.8. You got Moss says Jazz by 25-30. So Dom's ready to go for college basketball. So am I. So I'm not making a move on this Jazz Hawks spot. We'll do that with Ski Profit here. Now we have Pistons at Suns. Detroit lost on Monday to Cleveland. Now, I was on Cleveland yesterday, but that was a bit of a different spot with all the guys out of the Bucks line. Pistons were missing Griffin, but the Cavs were missing Love. Wayne Ellington, only bright spot. He puts up 25. Pistons defeated Toronto the game before. At home, though. But now they're back on the road. Do you trust this Pistons team at all? They got to be angry. This Pistons team has to be angry right now against this Sun squad that looks terrible. There'll be no Oubre in the lineup, but it opened at -5.5. It's already -7.5. And what I've seen from this Pistons team on the road is stay off them. Adam Lastman says Suns with the points. Booker and Ayton look good against Chicago, but they still got killed. They were behind all game long. Tyler Johnson downgraded to out. So we're going to see DeAnthony Melton all game. TJ Warren wants to return, but he may be shut down. Rashawn Holmes will be back in the lineup. And then Mavericks at Kings. I know some people liking the Mavericks here. Ty Clinton, I think the Mavericks are trash. Absolute trash. I want nothing to do with them. The Kings were embarrassed losing that 25-point lead in the fourth quarter. You know that teams leading by 25 or more entering the fourth are 3,028-3 all time in the NBA. And now they're 3,028-4. Marvin Bagley got 28 points. He looks good. I think Sacramento comes out and smashes this team. Then we have Pacers, Warriors. Pacers have lost 3 in a row. DeMarcus Cousins should be back, pushing Bogut back to the bench. I mean, what a ridiculous. Also, Tyreek Evans. This guy is so enigmatic, just like Alfred Payton. He just picks and chooses whenever he wants to play well. He gets the point guard spot because Collison's out of the lineup, and he shines. If I was a Pacers fan, he would drive me fucking crazy. So we'll talk about all these games with Ski Profit on the Late Show. But now's the time. And thank you guys for being so patient. Pink Eye Genie back. Beautiful. It says Sun's trying to hide. They're tanking. They're tanking for sure. Pink Eye Genie, not only great capper, but spreading pink eye awareness. Now, let's move on to our special guest of the day. We have Mr. Ian Cameron in the house to help us with his NCAA basketball card. And he may want to touch on hockey, even though the masses don't want to hear any more hockey. And Babano, you be my good luck charm. 2 of the last 3 times you've been on, I've gone 6-0. Babano, how are you doing, my friend? How are things?
Madness, it's madness. I'm doing great, of course. The NCAA tournament is basically 30 minutes away from our first game, our first tip, Mini in Louisville. Could not be more excited than I am right now.
Well, do you have anything for NHL, or can we jump right into NCAA?
NHL will be quick. I like Arizona plus price against Florida. Florida's done. Stick a fork in them. The back-to-back losses they just suffered have killed any small playoff hopes they had. I like Arizona, desperate team. Tough loss the other night against Tampa Bay. I thought they played a pretty good game, even though they lost. I think they bounced back tonight. I like Arizona to beat Florida. I think that there's value on the over in that game as well, because Luongo's in net, not the young kid Montembeault, and he had been playing well for the Panthers. So I like Arizona and over 5.5 against Florida. I like Carolina as well, -120, -130 in that range against Tampa. I'm looking to bet against Tampa Bay a couple of these games. I tried last night. They should have lost that game. Vasilevsky was phenomenal, 54 saves against Washington. But they've clinched everything. It's just pace yourself, keep yourself healthy for the playoffs. I think Tampa Bay, there's be some spots to go against them, including tonight with this red-hot, surging Carolina team trying to make the playoffs. Domingue will be in net for them after Vasilevsky was in. Very intense game with Washington last night. Great spot for Carolina here. I like them. So those are the main 3 for me. Arizona and over against Florida, and Carolina as a home favorite against Tampa Bay.
It's beautiful. I'm on 2 of those 3 plays. I am not on the Coyotes, but I am on the over 5.5. I got that early this morning. I think that'll get to a 6 now that everyone knows that Luongo's in lineup. And I'm on Carolina as well. And I got that line shopping at -110, but I haven't bet it yet. And we'll be betting it soon. All right, let's get into business. The madness is here, Babano. Minnesota, Louisville. I'm asking the same question as Brant Hunt, and maybe I missed the spot. Maybe I need to buy down to 5. But do we smash Louisville right now, right here?
I lean Louisville. What I did is actually I did a side and total parlay in this game. I don't do this very often. I got the heebie-jeebies about laying 5 with Louisville because they've had trouble protecting leads. I think they're the better team, though. I think they're the better coach team as well. I'll take Chris Mack in a matchup over Richard Pitino, little Pitino any day. And now you just know his old man, Rick, is going to do anything in his power to help Richard prepare and plan for Louisville. You just know it. There's that phone conversation is happening with Rick in Greece or wherever he is right now coaching the Greek league team. You know that conversation with father and son is happening. You know, what are we going to do? What can we do? We can put our brain power together and try to beat this Louisville team. And Rick Pitino would love nothing more than to see his son go in there and beat the team that got dismissed him. And so that's a very interesting dynamic there. I don't think they're going to do it, though. I like Louisville. Jordan Noir has been great for them this season. I think he's going to have a big day. I trust Louisville a little bit more at the defensive end of the court. Minnesota's been 2 up and down. I didn't lay 5. What I did is if you have access to doing a side and total parlay on the same game, I did Louisville money line with the over in this game, 136. It's gone up a bit. If you can't bet that kind of bet, side and total parlay, I'd still lean to Louisville -5 and also the over in this game.
Yeah, the market hitting the over hard. Keep still going up and up. There's now 138 at Heritage and Bookmaker. There's still a 5 at Bookmaker as well. Tom Marino says ACC much better than the Big Ten. Louisville would have been a top team in the Big Ten. But Jorge Don't Play, loving Minnesota today. Not a lot of people loving Minnesota. Tom Marino said Minnesota depends on their front line. Louisville has the size to deal with them. I'm on Louisville -5, and I'm going to take them at the -5 as well. That's hanging at Bookmaker. Louisville -5 at -110. And let me just double check that that's the spot. Louisville -5. Oh, it just jumped up to -112, but I already printed it in. We're in business. Okay, we're in business. Now let's move to Yale LSU. LSU coaching issues, opening at -8, now down to 6.5. And Yale are a lot of people's picks to do some damage here. But my man Dom Ricci says, where is it? Where is it? He said, I've lost it. But basically he said, I'm not believing the hype anymore. I'm off that Yale hype and took LSU -6. LSU and the total started at 116.5 and it's been going down. It's now at 157 at Pinnacle. Babano, Yale, LSU.
Yeah, if you believe in just fading the most trendiest, most heaviest bet underdog in the first round of the NCAA tournament, then you like LSU in this game. The consensus in Las Vegas right now is that no underdog's being bet more than Yale right now. Public loves Yale, and sometimes you worry about these trendy underdogs. That being said, I am worried about LSU. I would still probably lean to Yale in this game. It worries me that everybody loves Yale. But LSU's got some real issues. If you watch them against Florida, by the way, and when they lost in the SEC tournament, not having Will Wade on the sidelines, that's hurt them. That's made them a worse team. Tony Benford's not, I don't think, a very good X's and O's in-game adjustment schematics coach. I think he's proven that. I don't think he did a good job when he was head coach in North Texas years ago either. That program didn't do anything when he coached them. So I'm worried Will Wade's absence hurts this team a bit. The concern I have for Yale is defensively, that's not a good team. They're a very mediocre, they're a bad defensive team, actually, Yale. The reason they're here and the reason they won the Ivy League is because they're extremely efficient offensively. They can shoot the three. They got inside-outside balance. They can score from inside, can score from outside. Very, very good offensive team, but a mediocre defensive team. I'm shocked this total's come down as low as it is. Yale plays with a lot of pace, a lot of tempo. LSU goes up and down the court as well. You got two mediocre defensive teams, especially with Yale here. I lean Yale. My strong bet on this game is the over. I like the over a lot in this game. I got a 156.5 on this total. I waited for it to come down. I think it's come down far too much here. I think we get a lot of points. I think this game does get into the 160s. I like over the total, Yale, LSU.
Wow, going against that market move. And some people backing that call here. Backing it call. David Hutton saying fade the public, especially during this era of legalized betting in the States. Ocapo Dinero says high scoring game, but I think Yale turn over the ball just a few too many times. LSU covers. Bleds W liking the under though. Bleds W saying Yale under, but DA Sports Picks NYC says look at the over in Yale LSU game. Wow, Steve Priest liking LSU. Ocapo Dinero liking LSU. Dom the Don on LSU. Wow, Al Brown, LSU, big. Bleds W on Louisville first half. Christian Walsh on Louisville and Auburn. And Nolly Knows is on the under in the Minnesota game. Shout out to Sharp Money. We have the Taint play of the day, Old Dominion. I will go over all the Taint, or all the Taint. I'll go over all the plays of the day shortly. But let's keep rolling along here. And great breakdown. So, Babano on the over in Yale, LSU. Let's move on to the Auburn game. New Mexico State, Auburn. Auburn opening up -7 at Bet Online. Now 6s and 5.5 at Pinnacle. This total opens at 143, now 146. And Babano, Auburn can get very hot from outside, but they can also be cold from outside. And when they're hot, they can beat a team like Tennessee by 20. Do they smash New Mexico State here?
The three ball is a great equalizer in this matchup, for sure, Jimmy, with this game, because Auburn, if they are hitting their threes, they win in cover. It won't even be a question mark in my mind that they win in cover if they're knocking down 3-pointers. And obviously, nobody's made more 3-point shots in the country this year than this Auburn Tigers team. So that's always the concern. New Mexico State's a decent team against the three ball. They're decent. I wouldn't say they're great. So it could be a concern, but I have a lot of issues with the spot here for Auburn. Not enough people are talking about what a difficult situation this is for Auburn. They went through the gauntlet of the SEC tournament last weekend, multiple games in multiple days, 2 big-time games over the weekend against Florida and Tennessee to get into that SEC champ, to win that SEC tournament. Now, what's Auburn's reward for winning that tournament? Oh, you got to be flying out to Salt Lake City, 2 time zones over, and you got to play an early start game on Thursday afternoon. This is a bad scheduling situation for Auburn. It really is troublesome. They're not used to playing in higher altitude elevation. New Mexico State is. That is a little under the radar factor that I think people need to keep in mind here. New Mexico State, can they step up in class? This program is the question. They haven't won an NCAA tournament game as a program. Recent years, they've lost most of those games by double digits. However, you hear people talk that are close to this New Mexico State program. They say this could be the best New Mexico State program best New Mexico State team of all time, and it's definitely looking that. I mean, Terrell Brown has been terrific for them, averaging 11.3 points per game, 43% shooting from 3-point range. And we saw Auburn last year. They had a real tough time here in the NCAA tournament, knocked out, I believe, in their very first game. So I don't like the scheduling spot. I don't like the situation. I think New Mexico State's not a terrible matchup here against Auburn. I took New Mexico State here. +6 is the prevailing number right now. It was a better number earlier in the week, but at 6, I'd still take New Mexico State. I wouldn't want to take it down if it gets lower than that, but at 6, I think there's still a little bit of value.
Brandon Peterson saying Auburn is for real. And Pinnacle just dropped that Louisville game to 5. So Louisville and Bookmaker at 5s now. Great breakdown. It is not the easiest spot for Auburn. In these early games, as we've seen all week, the early games, your shooting can just be off, especially if it's a huge NCAA tournament game. Okay, let's keep rolling. Vermont, Florida State. Florida State opening at -10.5. Now 8.5s across the board. This total at 132.5. Vermont, Florida State, Babano.
Here's a disclaimer here. I got Vermont at +10.5. I like that number. I like that position. I'm not going to tell viewers to bet 8.5. No way. I mean, 2-point move now in an NCAA tournament game is just too much. It's too much in a neutral court setting for me to tell people when there was 10.5s, 11s earlier in the week with Vermont to say, bet it now at 8.5. That's not good betting principles long term. You don't win money betting that way long term. So I think the value's gone, unfortunately, on the Vermont side. A lot of people liking Vermont here. The one concern with Vermont is they could get crushed on the glass a little bit. Size edges for Florida State, there's no question. It's just Florida State to me, and when I got them, they were a double-digit favorite. They've been a poor double-digit favorite, Florida State, throughout the Leonard Hamilton era. And it might be one of those games where, again, Vermont is a good, relatively solid defensive team and has a chance, I think, maybe to keep Florida State a little bit out of sorts offensively. And on the flip side, Vermont's very good at getting to the free throw line, and Florida State fouls a lot. That's one thing I noticed breaking down this matchup. Vermont's very good at drawing fouls. Florida State sometimes fouls a lot. So that's a matchup where you could see Vermont shooting a lot of free throws, and they're a good free throw shooting team as well. And that could keep Vermont hanging around in this game. But like I said, I got 10.5 early in the week. I'm not going to tell viewers bet 8.5. A 2-point move maybe in October, November and December in college basketball, there's still value. It's early in the season. Lines are usually more wrong at that time of the year than now. But in this time of the year, you're going to bet 2 points, the worst of it, with any game in an NCAA tournament. I wouldn't advise anyone doing that. So I think, again, I got a better number with Vermont. I wouldn't tell people to bet it now. I only lean that way at the current number.
Yeah, I hear that. Dan Kelly says, look for an in-game opportunity if you can get them plus double digits again. Yeah, and then back to this Auburn, New Mexico State. A lot of back and forth, and a lot of people backing Auburn here. Christian Wall saying, who has New Mexico State played? Strength of schedule, Auburn is the play. And I get that. Don Reed says Auburn gets hyped from that last win, maybe too much. And you got Moss says, I will bet my life on New Mexico State. Wow, I got plus 210.
Well, that's the thing. Auburn played the game of their season. I mean, that was a perfect game, flawless game. let's be honest, against Tennessee. And now you're traveling 2 time zones over, thin air altitude, early start, Sunday to Thursday turnaround, playing almost the perfect game you've played this season. I really worry about teams in this spot. When you play that good and you're in this kind of challenging travel and scheduling situation, it just feels like you could get a polar opposite performance from Auburn. Of course, New Mexico State has to make them play that way, but I've got enough concerns here about Auburn that's why I'm on the dog.
Yeah, I get it. And there are no more 5.5s on the board. Pinnacle just jumped back to 6 in the Auburn game, so no more 5.5s on the board. Bradley, Michigan State. Is Michigan State at 17.5 or 18? It opened at 19, although it was plus 100 at 19. 17.5 or 18. Is that too many points? Can Bradley stay in this game a bit? And his total going from 131.5 to 133.5. Babano, Bradley, Michigan State.
Bradley's not great offensively. That's the concern. Even though they're getting a ton of points, they are going to be slow pace, walk the ball up the court, pretty good defensively, but they don't face many teams with the firepower and offensive potency in the Missouri Valley that Michigan State possesses. That's going to be the concern here for the Bradley Braves. I'd actually lean to the favorite here. This number's coming down. I think if I get even a 7, I think I'm getting close to pulling a trigger on some kind of Michigan State bet here. I think they got a chance to walk all over Bradley. Bradley's one strength is other than solid defensively, they're not good offensively. That's my biggest fear. If they get behind, I don't know if they've got backdoor potential. One of their biggest strengths is they're a good rebounding team. Well, that's negated totally against Michigan State, who are one of the best rebounding teams in the nation in college basketball. So it seems like every little strength that Bradley could have totally negated by things that Michigan State do as well or better than Bradley. I think it could be a long day here for this Bradley team. They're one of those teams that was mediocre, up and down in their conference season. They got hot in the conference tournament, beat Loyola Chicago, won the Missouri Valley tournament to get here. This is a big step up in class. And now this number's gone from 19 to 17.5. Some people saying it's too many points. I'm getting close to liking Michigan State for some kind of bet here.
And what do you think about this total that's creeping up?
It's a pace war, really. Bradley is going to try to slow this thing down. If you like Bradley, you probably like the under. Michigan State played slower in the Big Ten conference season, but early in the season, and it's been this way the last few years with Tom Izzo, they have pushed the pace more when they've gotten outside of the conference. In non-conference action, Michigan State hasn't minded playing an up and down transition style of basketball game. So you might get Michigan State actually trying to push the pace a bit, because I don't think they're going to want to they want to use their athleticism. Let's be honest. Let's not kid ourselves. Who's got the better athletes? Who's got the better talent? Who's got the better shooters? State.
Yeah, I hear that. Stephen Priest saying Michigan State's minus 17 at Pinnacle. I still have minus 17, minus 104 here on SBR odds at Pinnacle. Tom Marino says Michigan State just won the Big Ten tournament. I think they win but don't cover. Dom Ricci said I might take Michigan State team total over also. In baseball, Bob, my man Baseball Bob says with you on Michigan State, took first half also. Let's go. Let's keep moving up. You're doing a great job keeping a great pace. Belmont, Maryland. Do the Bruins have a chance? And it's not even that big of an upset anymore after the way Maryland was playing at the end of the year. Opening at minus 5.5. Now it's at 3.5. Now it's at 3 at Bookmaker and Bet Online. This total opened at 147.5 is now at 150.5. Can the Bruins beat Maryland?
Well, we often see teams that win the first 4, they go on and maybe win a couple of games in this tournament. It's happened multiple times. Can Belmont be one of those teams? They got a chance. I'm certainly not in any rush to bet against Belmont. Maryland, I really like them at times this season, but the thing that concerns me is what's their best win away from home this season? Their play away from College Park was not good. I think Iowa maybe their best win away from home. That's not saying a whole lot for this Maryland team. Very inconsistent. They had some bad losses too. They better be ready to go, because this Belmont team, Dylan Windler, Kevin McLean, Musinski looked very, very good on that sore ankle. Everyone was concerned about it in the game against Temple. In the first 4, he looked fine. So Belmont's going to be a tough out here. Maryland's got talent. I like Cowan Jr., the guard. I like Bruno Fernando, a great big, although he's turnover prone sometimes. That's a concern. They just were too inconsistent. And to me, Jimmy, they didn't do enough away from home, away from College Park, to trust them laying points against a quality Belmont team here. So I'd lean Belmont.
Lean Belmont. Wow, even at the 3. What do you think about the total here? Opening at 147.5 at BetOnline now, 150 there, 150.5 everywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it over at 147. It's 150.5 now. Maryland, I don't think wants to go up and down here, and Maryland is still a pretty capable at times defensive team. So I would want the over at 150.5. If anything, actually maybe a little lean to the under at the current number, because I think Maryland doesn't want to go up and down. Belmont does. Belmont wants transition. Belmont wants pace. Not sure Maryland wants to play that kind of game.
Both Dom, Ricci, and Baseball Bob on Maryland. Hail the Victor says, yes, Maryland wins. Belmont can't rebound. Very interesting stuff. Okay, let's keep rolling. This is all working out wonderfully, Babano. Thank you for all your help here. Northeastern against Kansas. Kansas opening at -8, now 6.5. Still get a 7 to BetOnline. Total opening at 144.5 and has dropped a point to 143.5. Northeastern, Kansas.
I'm on Northeastern here. Plus, I got 7. It's 6.5 now. The CAA has been one of those conferences in the NCAA tournament that's done very well point spread wise. This has been a very good conference, ATS in the NCAA tournament in recent years. Northeastern, a solid group. Bill Cohen's a great coach, and people are going to get familiar very quickly in this game if they watch it with Vasa Puzichka. This guy is a tremendous player here for Northeastern. CAA Player of the Year, outstanding shooter. Northeastern, to me, the key is going to be defensively. Can they hang in there? There's mediocre at times defensively, but this is more to me. I just haven't been one bit impressed with Kansas, and I've been even more unimpressed with Kansas away from Fog Allen. You look at Kansas, what they've done on road and neutral courts this season, it's ugly. They have not played well at all for most of the season away from Fog Allen Fieldhouse. That's a concern for me. This was supposed to be a very talented, deep, loaded, national championship contending Kansas team. I think the writing's on the wall that it just isn't. I mean, the Vic absence and the Azubuike absence has been too much for them to overcome. They don't have the depth that they used to have due to these injuries and suspensions and absences that they're dealing with. Dotson's been great for them, but I think this is a team that's lost a lot of the luster that they had before losing all of these key players. And to me, away from home, laying 6.5, 7 against a quality foe like Northeastern, don't trust Kansas. Northeastern's got some flaws for sure, but this is more, I don't trust Kansas right now with this current composition and roster laying these points. So Northeastern plus the points for me.
You got Moss says the same thing. Tony Weddle says Northeastern hasn't done anything out of conference. 400 says Northeastern doesn't stand a chance. Young Vaughn says Northeastern can't rebound. Tom Marino says Kansas has no size, but they're solid in up-tempo games. They should be fine. I'm on Kansas -3.5 first half. Young Vaughn says Kansas, y'all. I'm telling you. Chad Costanza says the over in the Kansas game should be good. And Steve Priest leaning to the over in the Kansas game. It's dropped a point. What do you think about this total?
I lean over the total too. I mean, Northeastern is very good offensively. I think you're going to find that out today. It's a great offensive team. And like I said, defense is not always tremendous for this Northeastern Huskies team. So I think Kansas is going to be able to score too in this game. Northeastern doesn't play ultra fast, and Kansas has actually not played as fast either down the stretch of the season. So I don't love it, but I'd still lean a little bit over the total. But I've got, like I say, the total I like the most is that Yale game for sure.
That Yale game, yeah. God, this is great stuff. And then finally, we have one more game that goes off before our late show, and that's Jean Morant's Murray State up against Marquette. Marquette opening at -4.5, and now threes, and the -3s. Wow, all over the board. This total opens at 148.5, now at 149.5. This is going to be exciting. Two of the best scorers in Howard and Morant in the nation going up against each other. Murray State, Marquette. Who do you like here?
Yeah, I'm going to fade this line move here. This is one trendy underdog that I'm definitely going against, and that's I'm laying the 3 here with Marquette. I think Marquette is this is the teams I like to back. Teams that maybe limped into the tournament a little bit. Marquette didn't play their best basketball down the stretch, but I think they're capable of getting it going again. I still like that they improved a lot defensively this season. Steve Wojciechowski's team, I thought, really improved. When I look at it, we know this is a tremendous battle of great guards. I mean, this is fantastic. If you like great guard play, one-on-one, you got Marcus Howard and John Morant. It doesn't get better than that. The question for me is who's got the better supporting cast? I'm going to trust Marquette's supporting cast a little bit more. I'm going to trust the Hauser kids, especially Sam Hauser, who is great. I'm going to trust Sakir Anim. I'm going to trust Theo John. and this Marquette supporting cast a little bit more than the supporting cast that John Morant has at Murray State. There were a lot of games this year where John Morant had to do everything. And obviously, it's Marcus Howard is the straw that stirs the drink for Marquette. But I think there's a little bit better of a supporting cast around him in this game. I think there's a lot of people thinking, oh, Murray State in the tournament years ago when they pulled an upset, that maybe they can do it again. But I think Marquette can right the ship, get on a run, or at least win this game anyway, and I'll lay the 3. I think it's a very, very cheap price now on the Golden Eagles.
I agree completely. And we knew this was going to be a dog that was going to be a public play because of how exciting Morant is. And I'm jumping on Marquette. Not only that, but Marquette is hailed to the victors. Big Dick Energy play of the day. Marquette -3 will be my second move on this card. Marquette -3, and I'm getting plus 100 at Bookmaker. Marquette plus 100 at Bookmaker. Illwise said I'm taking Minnesota first half for $100 plus 3. Thank me later. Single bet. Let's get this early money. Shout out to Illwise. Nasty Nate says Murray State wins. Tony Weddle says no to the Seton Hall spot. Doesn't have scoring. DJ Big Boss says love the guard matchup in Marquette versus Murray State. Brandon Peterson doesn't matter about the supporting cast because Howard doesn't pass to them. Ocapo De Niro says Marquette has the better roster. Young Bond says Marquette is a solid place, so is Wofford. Foreigner says Marquette has a supporting cast. Murray State, not so much. Don Reed says, hail, glad to hear that. I was leaning to Marquette. Riku Roxas also liking Marquette. Young Bond on Marquette. I love it. I absolutely love it. But Bino, what a treat it is to have you on this show. I've added 2 plays. Louisville -5 at -110 and Marquette -3 at plus 100, and I need a day-to-day badly. Don Regis says Murray State, another sexy pick. Public likes. I'm on Marquette, just locked it in. But Ted Kubala says Murray State all day. Wow, it's going to be a great, great, great day. Thank you so much for joining us, Ian. Is there anything on the late card, and you don't need to break it down, just to help our study, is there any spot on the late card that you're loving right now?
Lean to Old Dominion plus 13 against Purdue. I just don't know if Purdue's offense is good enough to cover that kind of number against a very good Old Dominion team defensively. Old Dominion can go in a drought offensively. That's my main fear. They go on an 8-minute drought scoring-wise. Purdue could pull away, but I still think it's too many points there for an Old Dominion team that plays good D and did beat Syracuse in non-conference play on the road at the Carrier Dome early this season. So they've shown they can step up in class. I like Old Dominion plus points there. And the other one I'm looking at is Wofford. I know some people in the chat, Jimmy, I just heard from you there, like Wofford. I agree. Wofford's a very good basketball team. It pains me to go against Kevin Willard and Seton Hall. I've backed them in the tournament in years past. I just think it's not quite as talented a Seton Hall team as in years past. He's done an amazing job just to get the Pirates in this tournament. Kevin Willard, he's done a tremendous coaching job. They rely a lot on Miles Powell. Can other guys step up? This Wofford team's complete, can shoot from anywhere, and I think they're poised to win this game. I'll lay the 2.5 with Wofford. So looking at Wofford and Old D in the late night hours.
Great, great job. Thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find you on Twitter, and what else you got going on this week?
Yeah, I mean, the tournament games are just about to start, so looking forward to them. Twitter at Bobano. I'll be tweeting halftime plays, live bets. Live betting is something I do a lot in the tournament. You can capitalize on these momentum swings and runs that teams go on. So looking forward to posting a lot of that. Play of the day videos as usual here at SBR, and check me out Saturday still throughout the rest of the CBB season with Drew Martin and Maxwell Smart on the SBR Madness show as we break it down. I'm with them every Saturday on that show, so make sure you check that out.
What a great job. Thank you so much for joining us. One more look at my action on the NHL slate. I haven't added any NBA, but Ski Profit will be joining us on the late show. I'm on the over 5.5. Coyote Panthers over 5.5 at -120. I'm on the Bruins -1.5 at -108. I'm on the Hurricanes money line at -110. I'm on the Canadians -1.5 at +190. I'm on the Blues -1.5 at -120. I'm on the Penguins Predators under 6 at +107. That's one of my unders. Ashley, it's not the only one. And then Flyers Blackhawks, I'm off. Avalanche Stars, I'm off. Senators Flames, I'm off. And then I'm on the Jackets -1.5 at +187. I'm on the Knights -1.5 at +160. And I'm on the Sharks Kings under 6 at -113. Thank you guys so much for joining us. What great insights from the chat. Man, this is exciting. The tourney is here. The tourney is here. Thank you to our guest, Ian Cameron, at Pabano on Twitter. Make sure you follow him. Great, great capper. Great guy as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's have a great big afternoon. Meet at the Late Show in the Black. leche, a los bookmakers.